From early steel experiments to modern unmanned battle tanks, Russia built more tanks than any nation in history. This is the story of every Russian tank ever made. For more than a century, Russian and Soviet military doctrine has revolved around one machine above all others, the tank. Built to fight in snow, mud, cities, and open plains, Russian tanks prioritized simplicity, low silhouettes, and mass production. Some designs became legendary battlefield icons. Others failed quietly in testing grounds. Together, they formed the largest and most influential armored lineage in military history. Early and imperial era. Tsar Tank, Lebedenko Tank. Russia's first tank concept was also its most unusual. The Tsar Tank featured enormous front wheels designed to roll over obstacles. In practice, it became stuck during trials and was abandoned. Though a failure, it marked Russia's first attempt at armored warfare. Interwar Soviet tanks. T-14 MS-1. The T-14 became the first mass-produced Soviet tank. Lightly armored and lightly armed, it served primarily as a training and early combat vehicle, introducing the Soviet Union to large-scale tank manufacturing. T-24. Designed as a medium tank, the T-24 suffered from mechanical unreliability. Only a small number were built before the design was abandoned, but its development provided valuable engineering lessons. T-26. The T-26 became one of the most important early Soviet tanks. Widely produced and exported, it saw combat in Spain, against Japan, and in the opening stages of World War II. It proved that quantity could shape battlefield outcomes. BT series, BT-2, BT-5, BT-7. The BT tanks emphasized speed above all else. They featured convertible drive systems allowing them to run on tracks or wheels. Though lightly armored, they influenced future Soviet breakthrough doctrine. T-28. The T-28 was a multi-turreted medium tank built to support infantry. While heavily armed for its time, it proved complex and outdated as warfare evolved. T-35. The T-35 was a massive multi-turreted heavy tank. Impressive in appearance, but unreliable in combat. Most were lost to mechanical failures rather than enemy action. World War II, the Great Patriotic War. T-34. The most influential Russian tank ever built. Sloped armor, wide tracks, and a powerful gun gave the T-34 unmatched balance. It could be produced quickly, repaired easily, and fought effectively in almost any terrain. T-34-85. An improved version featuring a larger turret and stronger gun. The T-34-85 restored firepower superiority late in the war and became the definitive T-34 variant. KV-1. Heavily armored and nearly impervious early in the war. The KV-1 shocked German forces but suffered from poor mobility and mechanical reliability. KV-2. Armed with a massive howitzer, the KV-2 was designed to destroy fortifications. Its tall turret made it unstable and vulnerable, limiting its usefulness. IS-1. The IS-1 marked a shift toward new Soviet heavy tank doctrine. It balanced armor and mobility, but saw limited production. IS-2. One of the most feared tanks of World War II. Its powerful gun was designed to defeat heavy armor and concrete defenses, leading assaults into Berlin. IS-3. Introduced at the end of the war, the IS-3 featured a distinctive pike nose design. Though it saw little combat, it influenced tank design worldwide. Early Cold War tanks. T-44. A transitional design bridging the T-34 and modern Soviet tanks. It lowered the tank's profile and improved armor layout. T-54. The first truly modern Soviet main battle tank. Combining firepower, protection, and mobility, it became the most produced tank family in history. T-55. An improved T-54 with better reliability and nuclear protection. It served globally and remains in limited service today. IS-4. An extremely heavy tank with massive armor. Its weight limited mobility, leading to limited deployment. T-10. The final Soviet heavy tank. It balanced protection and mobility better than earlier heavy tanks before the doctrine was abandoned. Cold War main battle tanks. T-62. Introduced the world's first smoothbore tank gun. It was designed to counter Western armor and saw extensive Cold War service. T-64, a revolutionary design featuring composite armor and an auto-loader. Highly advanced but complex and expensive to maintain. T-72, a simpler, more affordable alternative to the T-64. It became the backbone of Soviet and export armored forces worldwide. T-80, powered by a gas turbine engine, the T-80 offered exceptional speed. High fuel consumption limited its practicality. Post-Soviet and modern Russian tanks. T-90, an evolution of the T-72 with modern fire control and protection systems. It became Russia's primary post-Cold War export tank. T-90M, a heavily upgraded version with improved survivability and sensors. It represents Russia's most advanced fielded tank today. T-14 Armata, a radical departure from previous designs. Featuring an unmanned turret and armored crew capsule, it represents Russia's vision of future armored warfare. Experimental and prototype tanks. Object 279, designed with a unique 4-track layout to survive nuclear shockwaves. Never adopted, but technologically ambitious. Object 195, T-95, a prototype heavy tank with an unmanned turret. It directly influenced the development of the T-14 Armata. Object 430/432, experimental designs that evolved into the T-64. They tested new armor layouts and internal arrangements. Why Russian tanks are unique. Russian tank design consistently emphasized low silhouettes, sloped armor, mass production, and ease of repair. These choices reflected a doctrine built for large-scale warfare in harsh environments. From crude, early experiments to digitally integrated modern battle tanks, Russia's armored history is unmatched in scale and influence. Some tanks became legends. Others faded into obscurity. But together, they shaped how armored warfare is fought across the world. If you had to choose one Russian tank that best represents this philosophy, which would it be and why?